Howdy folks, welcome to Sham and COVY'S Emporium of Awesome. Today on another episode of Vincent's Voice, I will be reviewing the movie XMen Dark Phoenix. This did come out quite a while ago, and I'm finally just getting around to it. I put it off and putting it off for quite a while, so I decided to eventually watch it. Because initially, with this series, I enjoyed the very first movie, First Class. I thought it was done really well. I really enjoyed the new characters and stuff for it. And I liked it a lot. Like I say, in the movies I kept watching after that, like Days of Future Past and Apocalypse and that. And like I say, when I remember, Days of Future Past was really good. It was a really cool blend of the old and the new characters, which I really liked. Seeing the old characters, I used to like the old X-Men movies as well. I thought they were cast very well, so that was cool. And it wasn't as good as First Class, but it was still really good. And then X-Men Apocalypse came out, and Apocalypse is one of my favorite villains for the X-Men, and that, so I was really hyped about it. But the movie was a big letdown. I don't think that it was done well, very good at all. And unfortunately for this one, it's also not done well. I feel it started off really good, and from then on, it just kind of slowly went down, and I'm really glad that this is over. Unfortunately, this is how it ends, and that with this installment of it but which is not, in my opinion, is not very good. And that, so like I say, we'll go into it a little bit. And that the story is of course all around Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force and her coping with that power and everybody else people trying to help her and things like that. I think one of the biggest problems was I never believed the actress playing Jean Grey. She just didn't feel like Jean Grey at all, and so like that. Like even before this Dark Phoenix and then before she was there, and that she just like saying she's a good actress, but didn't believe her as that. I didn't believe the love story between her and Cyclops. They're supposed to be super connected, and that, and I didn't feel it between the two actors, and so that at all throughout any of the movies, which is a shame. And that, and I just don't think that it was handled correctly in this. They had brought in a random alien race that they didn't really explain at all. It was just kind of there after the Phoenix Force, and that, and manipulating Jean, and Jean is having trouble with her emotions. She can't control it. She doesn't know what to do. Blah blah blah. She's hurting people, things like that, and throughout the whole movie until the end where she's like, oh, all of a sudden now I can do it. I'm fine. I know what to do now. So just flipped all of a sudden. But anyway, I didn't like that part of the movie. Saying that were the villains, and she was kind of the villain in it, which like I said, it didn't work at all. There was unnecessarily character deaths in it that really didn't go anywhere. The trailer actually ruined it. I knew which characters have died before I even watched the movie just from the trailers and like I say, that's just poor advertising when you spoil something that supposed to be that big and it really wasn't impactful in the movie at all. Like I say, it happened, and it's okay, that happened, now what? Why? Like I say, it just didn't feel impactful enough that it should have been for a character that's been around. This is the fourth movie You're supposed to be invested in these characters and care what happens to them, and I didn't. It didn't matter like I said, I didn't care what Jean Grey was going through. Didn't sympathize with her at all, and that, like I said, the characters' deaths and that didn't resonate with me. Like I said, I still like a lot of the actors and so like that playing. I still like the actors for Charles Xavier and Magneto and even Beast and things like that. They have good characters in it, but I just don't think that they were utilized properly. If you enjoyed the other movies like I said, it still has good moments in it. It still has some cool action scenes and good moments with the characters in the movie that you've invested in, and so it's not a total loss watching the movie. I just was disappointed that they can't seem to handle Dark Phoenix. They tried it with the original X-Men movies and failed miserably with that one too. And this one in my opinion was a fail with it. It just, they had such potential. Just go to the story from the cartoon. It's amazing. And then from the 90s cartoon is amazing and why you can't bring it stuff onto the big screen is beyond me stuff. But whatever. Like I said, if you enjoyed the other movies and stuff, you'll still probably enjoy this. So maybe you'll enjoy it more than me. Maybe so I'm looking into it more. Stuff like I'm looking from the comic books and stuff, or from like that '90s cartoon and that, and expecting big things. But it should be. So Dark Phoenix is big, and that stuff. It should be impactful. It should be like like a global threat. What's like I saying? Technically, it was and stuff like that. But yeah. So it just didn't have the emotional stuff attachment that I wanted stuff from these characters after the fourth movie and stuff, and really liking stuff this franchise and stuff in general, like the comics, the movies, which are things like that, the cartoons. I wanted to feel things and stuff for the characters and stuff, and it just didn't stuff for me. And when it doesn't do that, I don't care. I don't care what happens to the characters. I don't care what they're doing. Stuff. If I don't care and emotionally invested in it stuff when things happen to them, stuff. They just drop flat and stuff like that for me right now, stuff which takes me out of the movie, and now I'm just watching it for like the action sequences and the cool CGI, which this does. It has cool, very cool scenes and stuff in it, stuff, and things look so pretty and that, but sometimes it's not enough stuff to want to give it high score and really high recommendation. Like I said, if you want to watch it, you can. Like I said, it might be okay. But I think in the end stuff, I'm probably going to give this a below average stuff. It's going to be a 4 out of 12. It's one stuff that, honestly, stuff it's not enough good stuff in it to end the series for you to actually watch it. So if you started to decline with how the movies were and stuff, like with me, like the first, second, third, like I say, it progressively got. If you were disappointed on stuff with X-Men Apocalypse, you're most likely going to be disappointed on stuff with this one too. If you liked that one, you'll probably have stuff like this one too. Also, like I said, you're probably looking at it differently and stuff than I am. Also, I'm probably too much on the cartoons and wanting more also, but that's okay. That's apples and oranges, and that's okay for you. If you think this was a great superhero movie, stuff, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it and stuff, and I'm really happy. But like I say, so that's me. That's what I think stuff for this movie. I'm really looking forward stuff for them to bring this into the MCU. So hopefully they can do all these characters real justice continually throughout and stuff like that. Like this series, they started really strong stuff with First Class, bringing the new ones in stuff, and a little bit different views on stuff, which was great stuff. But it slowly lost that feeling on stuff, which I hope stuff once Marvel gets it, they're just going to take it and just go with it. They're just going to take off with it also, take these characters stuff and just have great storylines also, big storylines and not like they're doing stuff in the MCU stuff, like have a bigger picture stuff in mind stuff throughout the films, and that towards a big guy like Apocalypse stuff, or like somebody stuff like that who's like a global threat stuff like Thanos was and Loki was and things like that stuff. Have that in the X-Men universe and things like that stuff would be amazing stuff. The characters stuff and villains that they have access to in this are great characters stuff with great backstories. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway stuff, that's just my opinion. Take it stuff what you will. Please, like and subscribe also the video. Please let me know also down below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me also, if that's okay to stuff, and we can talk back and forth stuff about that. So thank you very much stuff for watching. Please stay tuned stuff for more of my Vincent's Voices stuff movie reviews, and until then, have a good day.